weather up north down to the southern states is very bad now. They're getting snowstorm after snowstorm. And here in Florida, we are gonna get the cold weather starting Monday. We're in January now. And so for the northern states, they get this snow, ice, and sleet and freezing rain, and the temperature is freezing, and you have to be careful when you go out to cover your extremities, and you don't get frostbite and hypothermia. But for us here in Florida, we get the cold. At night it dips colder, about in the 40s. So we're lucky that way, but the thing is, we get the bad weather, the hurricane and tornadoes starting June 1st till about end of November. So, and the high peak time is around September, August and September, and sometimes till October. So luckily last year in 2025, I had anxiety. I'm waiting when, they're gonna start announcing that we're getting this hurricane. But we were so lucky we didn't get it last year. And but the year before there was a hurricane, and of course the roof and the trees and the debris, uh, and sometimes it gets flooded. So certain areas are more prone to get flooded. And yeah, when you get hurricane, it's about the same situation. Some people, they panic, and but they let you know in advance, like at least a week in advance, for you to prepare to get necessities, like like canned food. Don't get perishable items. If you lose electricity, you don't want to have your food get spoiled in the refrigerator, and extra things. Maybe you can consume those during the week of, like they're preparing now for the snow. But I think they're preparing more than us, because for the snow you need like propane tanks, and you need things to heat up the place, generators. We also use generator for if in case people lose electricity. But when I was living in a condo apartment, you're not allowed to have generators. You have to rely on flashlight, or those flashlight that solar or whatever, things like that, portable ones. And you're not allowed to have solar panels, because it's a shared community. But for people who live in a house, I guess they have generators and solar panels. But yeah, the preparedness is about the same. I guess when you go to a gas station, you have to make sure you have your fuel in case of emergency, or after after the storms passes, you want to go someplace, you want to make sure you have fuel, or you have to go to, let's say, urgent care or a medical place, and you have to make sure you have all the necessities. And also you want to make sure you don't cause a fire. People don't use candles these days a lot, but still, if you don't leave, if you have a portable heater, you're staying in one room to save electricity, you don't want to leave it on all night. You have the blanket falls off, and that's a disaster. And people, they can't get to you if the road is closed and there is a blizzard, for the people up north. And even here during the hurricane, people can't get to you when there is flooding and electrical wiring on the ground. So all those things I learned from living different places. And actually I lived through blizzards, snowstorms, when I was back in New York City. And I used to live in a room in somebody's house, and it used to be freezing. And I mean, it's very cold, but it's dry cold, so it's not humid. So yeah, it's very, very bad either way. If it's very cold, you get if you're sick, especially when you're older. At that time, I used to be in my 20s and 30s. So I survived many snowstorms and ice and all of that. But I have those skills now, survival, somewhat skills. I'm not professional, but I know how to prepare, such as for us right now. They tell us to, um, just get things that you need. I mean, we're not gonna get rain or anything like that. We're just gonna have our temperature dipping. So I have my winter clothes already. Because I moved recently, I don't have all my belongings, but I do have the necessities for now, and trying to survive this storm. Um, yeah, so I just wanted to, share with you my knowledge. So maybe if you have any questions, let me know. I can tell you what I went through and what I experienced, from hurricanes you know to snowstorms, and I survived them. But still, it's like after the what happens, before it happens, during the hurricane, you get this anxiety, especially when you watch the news over and over again. They tell you the hurricane is going this way, now it's making a turn this way, it's coming right at you. If you live in this area, you have to evacuate, then you're panicking. So sometimes the news, I mean, it's good to keep updated, but it gives you more mentally. You start thinking, a lot of people they evacuate, but a lot of people they want to stay and think it's not gonna, hit them. And next thing you know, they're looking up in the sky, the roof disappeared. So yeah, nowadays everything is more intensifying with the weather. It's a global warming. So yeah. Anyway, well, I just wanted to share my little story here with you, and I hope you learned something useful as well. And this is what I have for you today. Please put a like and subscribe to my channel, and I see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.